Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Vicky, on our seventh chat in our series of Face to Face. And this week we're talking about the C word. Yes, Christmas. Christmas. Before you start. Yeah, I thought we'd talk about Christmas. It's December the 7th, and wow, it just flashes away. We're in a bit of the dead zone at the moment. Are you Christmas stopped? Are you ready to rock and roll, or?
I'm not feeling the Christmas vibe yet, I have to say. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it just seems to have come upon us so quickly. I'm just like, how did it happen? How did we get to be in December? And we've not had the usual run up of being in the shops all the time and seeing everything kind of gradually appear. So, yeah, I'm not yet. But when the decks go up, might be a different story.
Look, I'm not the most Christmassy of people. I will admit to that. I do like Christmas, but I think Christmas has this thing about knocking us out of routine, maybe. And we are people, addicts are people of routine. Yeah. So I think it's one of those things that crops up and then it sort of takes you a little bit unaware, but then it stops you from doing everything that you normally do to try and keep yourself on an even keel. I don't know. Is that something that you think or feel the same?
I think I used to, okay. But I made a conscious effort to keep my routines going over the holidays, any holidays, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Easter, whether it's summer holidays, because as you quite rightly say, I've learned about myself and I know that I function best if I stick to certain things. It just sets me up for the day. My morning routine is just like so important to me. And if that goes, I feel that the rest of my day isn't as great as it could be. So I do make a conscious effort, no matter what, to stick to certain things every day.
So what's your Christmas day look like?
So Christmas Day, even though my daughter is now 22, we still get up at silly o'clock in the morning. Usually around about sort of 6-ish, and we jump into my bed because there's just the two of us with a cup of tea and a stocking each, and we take it in turns to open presents, and then we go downstairs with Christmas carols to the tree, and we repeat the process under the tree. After that, she kind of does her own thing, sorts the presents out, and that's when I have my workout and have a little bit of me time and space to myself. So that takes about an hour. And then we both decide what we're going to do breakfast-wise, what sort of time we're going to eat. And that's kind of the setup then for the rest of the day when we've decided that. It tends to be, for us, just the two of us, and it has been for years. And you know what? It suits us just fine.
So you just got into a nice sort of rhythm with what you're doing. What about people that might find it rather an onerous thing? They just not necessarily it's a Christmas thing that's the problem. It's hold on a minute, I've been avoiding these people all year.
It's a real thing. I mean, I have to say, we've got this idea, haven't we, as a society, not just in this country, but as a globally, about what Christmas should look like. And ultimately, it is about family and about us kind of celebrating being together and appreciating each other. But if we've got family members that we really don't gel with and we don't get on with, it can be such a stressful time. I mean, how do you get on with your family? What's your Christmas look like?
Well, we've got 3 little ones, so they will be up at, I don't know, 2 maybe. It was about 2 o'clock last year, I think. Wow. It will be pretty uncontrollable with my 2 boys. One's 4, one's 5. Christmas is a big deal. My daughter's still yet to do that. We go to my in-laws, and we just have one of those traditional sort of family Christmases, and we just sort of get through the day and in peace and harmony. Really, it's a very low achievement day. I think people try and do too much. Having small children, there's always this thing, what should we do at the weekend? And it's always, well, let's do this in the morning, and then we'll do this in the afternoon, and then we'll do this in the evening. It's like, whoa, actually, if you do one of those things, it's probably enough.
Yeah,
Because
that's interesting, because we do, don't we? We have this idea that we've got to keep doing stuff, and that's what gives us enjoyment. And actually, just having space and just being able to be with the people we want to be with is kind of what it's all about. What you mentioned there, though, just took me right back to Christmases before I was on my own. And I can remember when Dad was working and Mum was doing her thing as well, that there was definitely this pressure to fit everything in. And on Christmas Eve for years, I remember driving around with my dad to drop off presents at various different people who we wouldn't be able to see at any other time. And then we had to go in, we had to have a drink with them. And this was in the days when drinking and driving wasn't such a big thing. So he would probably visit 5 or 6 people like the day before Christmas. And then he would be out on Christmas Eve with all of his friends. Then Christmas Day would be family and he'd be too tired to enjoy it. Then Boxing Day would be back with all of the kids because we had to keep the kids entertained because it was family day on Christmas. And it just went on and on. And when you kind of got through New Year as well, how on earth, when I look back, he was still able to function through January? I do not know.
Well, it becomes overwhelming, doesn't it? And it's overwhelming for the children. By mid-morning, they're sort of zombied out from all of this electronic stuff that they're dealing with, and they've got so many different things to play with that they end up playing with the boxes. I can remember spending a lot of time on Christmas Day drawing, because that's, you know, I wanted to draw. I got some new crayons and pens and sort of things, and I used to enjoy just the peace of that while the rest of the family, with in-laws and grandparents and whatever it was that we had at the time, got on with the day. You know, this meal, this 6,000 to 8,000 calorie meal that you get about halfway through the first course and just think, actually, I'm already knackered. But we feel obliged to eat, and you know, we feel obliged to drink. You know, we're non-drinkers, but for a lot of people, the day starts off with a glass and can get easily out of control that way too. What sort of safety parameters would you advise on?
I do you know what, it's such a tricky one because it depends if you're the host or not, and if you're the host, obviously you've got a bit more control about what's going on if you are having people around, and there has to be. I think we got to plan. As non-drinkers, you have to plan, especially in the early years. If you're not confident in how you're going to be and feel with other people drinking a lot around you, and for me, I didn't know for the first couple, sort of obviously the first Christmas is just like I have no idea what it's going to be like. But I think for most people, I think it's sensible to decide in advance, you know, who you want to spend the day with, and make sure that take your own drink just in case they haven't got anything to accommodate you, and avoid any kind of confrontation, because what you were saying about the kids being frazzled and everybody just like tries to do too much. There's so many arguments and disputes and disagreements that can happen. And when you throw alcohol into that mix as well, who knows what direction it can go in. So I would say to anybody, just be mindful that you have permission to be a non-drinker. You also have permission to get hell out if you're not comfortable in a situation. Always have a get out clause. So make sure that you're driving if you're going somewhere, and if you're not, you need to actually be able to put your foot down and ask people to leave, or even better, plan that you know and they know that your home is welcome to them until X time, and they need to go, because you know you've got to kind of think ahead on that. I think. What about you? You must have some ideas. You've been a non-drinker for longer than I have.
I think the taking your own drinks, I've certainly done that for as long as I can remember. Take your own drinks, and there's always a kettle, and there's always a cup. There is always a kettle, isn't there?
And a tap.
And a tap. I think it's quite good to have a time out somewhere and go for a run.
Yeah.
You know, the veg goes on early-ish on, doesn't it? but the turkey's in cooking, and you sort of think, well, actually there's some downtime. The children have got some toys. Right, I'm just going to go out and just have a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
And you'll see lots of other people having the breathers too, because they're all out and about and having a walk and whatever, as well as after lunch too. There is that. There's space in the day. It goes very quickly. It's a bit like a wedding day. Well, people plan these things. They plan their wedding day down to the nth degree. And if the rose petals that are strewn out don't fall the right way up, it ruins the day. It's just the minutiae of things can wreck things. Whereas I think a lot of the time, the spontaneity of the day is the fun thing. Because it's meant to be fun,
isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? It's supposed to be about having fun, and I think we often, and I know we say this and we're going to sound really old, or I am, and cliched, but it's kind of lost its meaning over the years, and especially now we're such a faster paced world, and we all want more stuff. It's become so much more materialistic. But also, we've got family now who are more further afield. I mean, gone are the days when everybody was in the same town all of the time. We've all, had the opportunity to move, not just countries, but, right around the globe. So everybody getting together can be not just a one-day thing. It can take 3 or 4 days by the time you've been able to see everybody. And that's when it can become a bit of an event. So like you say, allowing for space, getting out, getting some fresh air, getting a change of scene changes your energy, changes how you feel. If you've got a dog, it's perfect. It's just,
well,
as much as you want.
It's actually a perfect time to sort of say, well, actually, I'm going to take stock of who I am. I normally do my accounts over Christmas, of all things.
You and many people, I believe.
Yeah, because I just think, oh, right, I've got some time. I'm away for a couple of days, wherever it might be. I'll just finish off those accounts because I've got less pressure from clients. Because before COVID, certainly before the last few years of coaching the way that I've worked, by about December the 10th, nobody's interested in fitness.
No.
They just go, oh, I've got the office party. It's getting towards the end of the year. Do you know what? I really have had enough. Well, you want me to come to the gym? Forget it. But because I don't do any of that stuff anymore, I think the work will just continue through. I mean, I am contacted on Christmas Day. I get emails on Christmas Day every year.
I can believe it.
Somebody going, do you know what? I'm really pissed off. I've had a few this afternoon. I've already fallen out with my in-laws. I really hate my life. Well, blah blah blah. Help me out. And I had guarantee I get one of those every Christmas Day, if not more. So I think, look, it's a time to take stock, but also it's a time to put in quite a lot of work before the new year. This new year, new you thing. Maybe we'll talk about resolutions. That's a good one to do, actually, because I am the original New Year's resolution guy. But you don't have to wait until the 1st of January to break the habits and make a pledge, because that's a New Year's resolution, isn't it? You just make a pledge. Yeah. I pledge. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's that I make a pledge that I'm going to do this for, I don't know, at least a day. That's what a New Year's resolution is.
Well, that's all we've got at any one time. Let's face it, isn't it?
Yeah,
we've only all got 24 hours.
Yeah, one day at a time. So rather than wait until the 1st of January, 2nd of January, or 5th of January in my case, you could say, do you know what? I finish work on the 18th of December and I'm going to make a big change that day.
Which is something that I think we can all hopefully take a positive from this whole COVID thing, because we've realised that we don't actually have to wait for a specific time. Sometimes change is forced upon us. And I think for many of us, that's been a good thing over this COVID period. But it is going to allow us, as you say, to take stock of how do we actually want to spend this Christmas? Because we can't spend it with everybody who we want to spend it with. Some people are going to be in bubbles and they're going to have to make sure that they stay safe. And maybe that is the best plan this year for you to say, okay, so maybe I've done all of this stuff all the previous years, and I'm going to get honest and go, I haven't really enjoyed it. I've done it because it was expected. And maybe now is the chance for me to say, how about this is how I really want my Christmas to be. And it's about what's important. And as you say, giving yourself the space to look at what you want for the coming year. And not feeling guilty about it not being traditional or how it's always been, because I think that this year, out of all of the years I've lived my life, is the most incredible year for opportunities to change. And let's embrace it, no matter what date it is, no matter what month it is. Let's do it right now.
Oh, that's good. I like it. If you really dislike going to your in-laws or whatever, you've now got the perfect excuse
not to. Yeah.
You just say, well, I've had a COVID test and
I can't.
I can't come.
Yeah.
Or we don't know. Maybe the children's school were going to say next week, well, you've got to go into isolation, and we'll have a Christmas at home. Whatever it is, it's a pagan holiday that was been overtaken over the years, and it's a midwinter break. I mean, come on. We're days away from the 21st of December, the day when suddenly the daytime length, the daylight length gets longer each day. I mean, today, I looked today, there's 8 hours of daylight, 16 hours of dark. No wonder everybody's grumpy.
Yeah.
It's
feeling low and mood's not good, motivation's on the floor. I get it. I've had so many calls today. And over the last 2 days from people who are going, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just can't seem to motivate myself. I feel really low. I don't know what to do. And it's just like, give yourself some space. It's okay. Take some time out.
Have a day off. I've never got a problem with people taking a day off. If you're feeling a bit, that's fair enough. If you're just being lazy, well, I don't do lazy.
No,
I don't do lazy. But and embrace the break.
Yeah.
We need this break.
We do.
We'll just get rid of what's left of 2020. That 2020 vision we started so positivly with.
It's going to be
amazing. This year's amazing. 2020 vision. Oh, where are we going? What are we doing? Well, I don't know actually. I think people that embraced it have probably had a positive experience, and those that have sort of put up some resistance have found it tough. Some of the people that have, imagine being in the hospitality industry, getting up towards Christmas, you just think, Christ, the year can't get any worse. But if you get through it, come out the other side, January will probably be a bit brighter.
Absolutely.
And let's hope that, the gyms can get back out and people can get out. The days get warmer, that, you get a bit more daylight. That vitamin D is so important to us, isn't it?
Absolutely vital. And just getting a change of scenery, just getting out of your four walls, getting out of your home, even if you've only got, an outside front of your house, just get outside and get in the fresh air, walk, run, whatever it takes. Notice the sky, the ground under your feet, the grass. Just change your energy, change your environment. Those are the little things that we think, it doesn't do anything. Actually, it does a ton if you just get curious and try it.
Sounds good to me. So, good grief, these 20 minutes go so quickly. We know where you're going to be for Christmas. Where do people find at home? So where do people find you over Christmas if they're in need of you?
If you want to find me, I am Vicky Midwood on Facebook, vickymidwood.com on my website, and Vicky Midwood over on LinkedIn. And basically, I'm just Vicky Midwood, and I'm pretty much everywhere. There you go.
Dead easy to find. If you Google Rory Coleman, you'll find me too. Look, take Christmas as being for what it is. Try not to be too humbug. I try not to be too humbug about it, even though sometimes I am. And enjoy the fact that the kids are there and they're not kids for very long, and it's a magical, wonderful thing for them. I know that mine are going to be uncontrollable, to say the least. And we're going to get great joy from seeing them, as well as seeing my older daughter that's 32. So she's coming to see me this year, which again will be really special, I'm sure. So cheers, Vicky. I will see you next week. Maybe we'll talk about resolutions.
Sounds a good one. Let's do that.
All right. Have a good week. Bye.